Give me about 5 minutes and I'll change how you look at job searching forever. And I say this boldly because I've lived this from every angle. I've been an agency recruiter, a corporate recruiter. I even have a professional recruiter certification which covers Canada and the US, and I've been a hiring manager. So I'm sure we all know the basics. We're familiar with that. You have to update your resume, make sure it matches with the job description needs, practice the common interview questions. That advice isn't wrong, but it's not enough, especially in this really competitive market. As a job seeker, you're probably thinking employers are looking for the best of the best, most qualified candidates. While that's true, they're also looking for the least risky choice. When I was a recruiter, hiring managers would tell me all the time, look, I really like so-and-so, I like their experience, but I kind of get the sense that there would be a flight risk, so I'd rather go with this other person. I think they have the basics we're looking for, and they seem really eager and passionate to learn and lengthen their roots here. I think I can depend on them. That's a key part of how managers actually make hiring decisions. Now, I do want to balance this and say there are instances where teams might be looking for somebody for 6 months or a year for a quick turnaround or a transformation project, but I'm talking about the regular average jobs here. Another major part of being the less risky choice is, can you actually live up to the expectations? Can you do the job? The worst thing that can happen in the hiring process, well, one of the worst things is we hire you, you get started, and then your output and what we were expected is night and day. As much as possible, hiring managers want to be sure that you are the right person for the job. And it's always your responsibility to give them that confidence. And the best way to do this is to practice storytelling in your interviews. Let's say you're applying for a role as a trainer and they ask you about your experience creating job aids. Instead of just telling them your ability to create job aids, also talk about the software you're familiar with. How did you create these job aids? And go a step further to talk about some of the wins that are relevant to that question, right? So something that you could say is, oh, when I joined company X, the training was previously conducted in person, but I saw this as a business risk as it was limiting, restrictive. So I took initiative to redesign the process, and now the organization offers online training for special exceptions. I can also add in something like, I was able to find a tool that allows participants to access and complete their job aids and worksheets virtually or online so that the trainer can fully review. Answering that to do you have experience creating job aids is going to set you up for a much bigger win than if you were to just say, oh yes, I have experience creating job aids. I created 2 a month and they were used in the wealth management department. You want to paint as much color as possible to your interview responses, but still keeping it tight and not too long-winded. By the way, if it's your first time here, hi, I appreciate you clicking and watching this video. My name is Nicole Nyasha. I'm a career and homemaking educator. And if you're finding this video useful, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn where I share more insights frequently. The other part of risk is alignment. You could be a stellar candidate, but you might not be the right one for them because maybe there's just no alignment and synergy between you and the hiring team. And if they don't see you as somebody that would fit into their team, dynamic company culture, it's not going to work. And that's a big reason a lot of people don't get hired. At the end of the day, managers are just human beings and they want to keep the existing people on their teams happy as well. So they want, to the best of their ability, to make sure that when they hire people, these new people get along with everybody else. So stop being robotic and, for some people, being stuck up in your interviews. Be human, show some emotion. Again, we're talking in the context of a regular job here. And how do you do this? Storytelling. I think you can see a story pattern here already. Just learn how to tell good stories, and trust me, you'll never struggle in interviews. Anyway, don't be super rigid. Don't memorize scripts. If you have an interview, look up what they're looking for in the job description. Then think of 6 to 8 different stories you can use in your interview as examples of, showing your experience and how that relates to what they're looking for. Memorizing answers is harmful because when the question comes asked in a different form, you might stumble. But if you know your stories, you'll be able to figure out a response. Also, make your interviews conversational. I've interviewed hundreds, if not thousands, of candidates throughout my recruiting career. And for most organizational cultures, at least where I recruited, the candidates were overly serious. You ask them what's 1 + 1, they say 2 and stop there. And they didn't get the offers. Another thing is your resume. I'm not gonna judge anyone for having AI write their resume, but if you're gonna do it right. Don't just upload your resume and job description and tell ChatGPT, write me a resume for this job description. You're getting it wrong. Give AI a good prompt. It's only as good as the user. So give it some more context about you, what you're looking for, then upload your resume and ask it for constructive feedback. If you're feeling stuck in your job search, it could be that your resume lacks a cohesive narrative and it's not telling a story that's positioning you for those opportunities you're pursuing. Don't just list responsibilities. Tell us what you did, tell us how you did it, who you served, and what the results were. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they decide they need a new job and then they update their resume and start applying to anything that looks decent. Candidates do it the opposite way. They start with clarity. What type of life do I actually want right now? What type of company culture do I need? And what values matter to me? Once they know that and the life they want to live, then they identify career paths that align with that and start applying. The top 1% even go as further as studying those companies, what challenges they're facing, what skills they're missing, and then they go on, do their research, and then when they approach these companies, they're not just saying, oh, hire me, I need a job. They're saying, hire me because I know you have this specific problem, or as close as they can get, and then this is what I'm gonna do to solve it. Just last week, I saw this lady who got a job at Create a Match, and she's talking about how she put together a comprehensive business proposal, hired somebody on Fiverr to create a branded presentation, shared that with the hiring team with the detailed step-by-step process of how she would take the company from A to Z, and guess who got the job? Now, you've probably heard about the hidden job market, and hear me out, it's not a myth, it's real. A lot of jobs get filled before they even make it to the job boards. Think about it. If a hiring manager knows somebody through their network who can do the job, why do they want to waste their time posting it, sifting through hundreds of resumes, going through multiple interviews? This is why referrals are gold. Candidates who are connected, visible, engaged will typically always get the first call. So let this be your wake-up call if you're only relying on job boards to let your network know that you're looking so you can get referrals and appear in these hidden searches. You can also search for these hidden jobs using Boolean search on LinkedIn. You can put in your desired role, and LinkedIn will give you a list of recent postings where hiring managers, recruiters, people are just sharing opportunities on their teams. I have a video that gives details of the entire Boolean search process and how to find hidden jobs. You can watch that after this. Now, something else to keep in mind is to network strategically, engage on LinkedIn, connect with people in your field, and ask thoughtful questions. Show up with the value. And this brings me to, positioning yourself for jobs to chase you. I'm a prime example of this. I've had all my jobs through recruiters finding me on LinkedIn. This is actually a common piece of job searching advice, but people never take it seriously. And the way I see it, your online presence is either working for you or it's working against you. So make sure your profile is fully optimized and that it has the relevant details to help you appear in searches. You want to make sure that you have the relevant keywords on your profile. Again, I have multiple videos speaking about this on this channel. People think you don't have to post on LinkedIn because you're not a content creator, but listen, reach is the new resume. So you need to position yourself as somebody who's already contributing to the conversations that are going on in your industry. Share what you're learning, share what you're working on. It might not directly get you a job, but it will most likely put you in front of somebody who knows how you can get a job. Posting on LinkedIn and putting myself out there has gotten me more than jobs. It has helped me build relationships that have proven to be super valuable and created a lot of good opportunities for me. So when it comes to job searching, your resume is just one piece. You also need to consider the other levers: lowering risk, owning your narrative, applying in the right direction, tapping into that hidden market, and positioning yourself so that you're visible. Please give this video a thumbs up, save this so that you can remind yourself, and good luck in your search.